And here we go for game one against friend of mine and Nottingham regular player Timo Joy, aka Timo, who is playing Max. This was recorded just before Christmas. I'd played against a few Max decks back then, and my expectation was either that this was some sort of DLR deck or like a Eater keyhole AI fueled siphon based deck. Uh, because I'm nearly always expecting siphons out of some kind of max list, uh, the first thing I do was shore up my credits with Celebrity Gift. My hand has got no information in it that I'm not willing to reveal, and also has an end the run stopper for me to put over my HQ to prevent a turn one siphon. So I Celebrity Gift, install my Himitsu Baku over HQ, and pass the turn. And Max's ability, unsurprisingly, reveals account siphon off the top, so I'm at least aware that that's coming. So Timo injects, makes some money, installs the daily casts. So what I want to do here is kind of protect myself if I can, because I'm expecting AI breakers out of Max. I'm very happy to see that I've got my Turing and my Swordsman in my opening hand. So once I've got a feel for what kind of Max deck this is, I'll know a little better about how I need to proceed. If it's DLR based, then I need to dig for and score agendas as fast as possible. If it's not, then I can set up for a bit more of a grindy game. And there's a DLR and a wireless net pavilion, so I know what I'm facing. And there's also a same old thing, which means that account siphon that we saw get trashed is now very much in play. So we're drawing nicely into our econ events here. So hedge fund, start to set up a scoring remote, and looking for agendas now, because obviously we've seen the DLR. We know we need to set up a scoring remote and just start firing agendas through it as quickly as possible. Now very shortly I'm going to make an extremely terrible decision, one which kind of in hindsight I can't believe that I did. So there's the Eater for the AI, so this is exactly what we were expecting. So what I do here, so obviously we want to get my econ assets going. Now here I install my Caprice in my scoring remote and put the Swordsman in the scoring remote. Two terrible choices. Both of those things should have gone over my HQ. I know that he's got siphons, I know he's got same old things, and he's got a way of landing them because of his Eater. Why I have chosen not to defend myself from that, I do not know. Also, David is bad news for me. It means that my Turing is not quite as not quite as strong as it could be, because obviously he can just blow through it with the 3 David tokens now. So I'm firing off the Jackson in order to try and find a safe, try and put the Future Perfect in there safely. So we put an Enigma on the top, which he definitely can't beat with what he's got currently, and I gain a credit. So my thinking here is to just get this Future Perfect scored as soon as possible. I know that once the DLR starts I have a very limited amount of time probably so with 38 cards in my R&D and an active DLR, that's about a 6 turn clock with me drawing 1 and him milling 5 every turn. So can I score 7 points in 6 turns? That is debatable. Not impossible, but debatable. Here's me screwing up Jinteki's interface. So I need to take my interns back and play out my mental health clinic instead. So this is a kind of play mental health clinic, advance twice. But of course Timo's got 2 same old things. And I've got 16 credits. And he's got an account siphon in hand. So I decide not to res because I realise I'm about to get siphoned 3 times and that costing him 1 with the Himitsu Baku every turn is not going to accomplish anything. So yeah, here goes all of my money. And this is like with the swordsman in front, I could have blown up his eater. I could have and then just resed the Himitsu Baku and he couldn't land the siphons. But instead, because I chose to misplace both the Caprice and the Swordsman, I'm not quite sure why I don't res Caprice here. So on his last click I could have done... Oh, because I wanted to keep 1 credit. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, so that was bad news. I click up enough credits in order to res the Enigma, to protect the Future Perfect that's in there. But yeah, like that's a 45 credit swing from me making 2 separate bad decisions. Of course, you've got a front like you can you can get through this without a problem. So Timo, now with an unassailable pile of cash, is going to start using Josh B and eating through my library. So yeah, with 36 cards, that's exactly 6 turns of him milling me for 5 a turn and me drawing in order for him to win and me to lose. And one of those 5 draws, sorry, 2 of those 5 draws that I get would have to be agendas. So this is why it's such a tough situation. If I were in Timo's shoes here, my instinct would just be to just mill for 6 turns, because I need to spend 1 turn scoring this Future Perfect. I need to spend a turn getting the credits to score this Future Perfect. So that's 2. And then I'd need to draw an agenda, install it and score it, install it and score it. I literally think that just by milling me at that point, I can't win. Because my credit pool is so low, the opportunities I have to draw an agenda out of my deck are so few that just purely milling me out will probably do it. So as you can see, already a couple of agendas forced into the bin, which means that I've now got to take another turn where I have to install the Jackson to Jackson those agendas back out. I mean, Replicating Perfection always had a tough matchup against Noise, particularly because those random mills can really set you back. Because Timo isn't going quite as hard on the mill you out plan, I can generate some credits. So getting back up to 10 will give me enough to, or would have given me enough were it not for the Deja Vu into account siphon. So yeah, things not looking great here. And again, I'm not sure Timo needed to levy here. He could easily just have devoted his clicks to milling me out. Okay, drawing an Nisei there gives me some hope. I need to fire off this Jackson. Oops. I don't know why I instinctively right-click Jacksons to use their ability, but I do. So we fire off the Jackson to cycle back in the agendas that we can score the fastest, essentially, or the ones that he can steal the easiest. And then we install advance. But with 16 cards left in my R&D, one turn required to score the Nisei, another turn for installing, and another turn to score out an agenda, even if I had the credits to do that, means that I'm in a losing situation unless I draw another Jackson. So yeah, the full-on 4 clicks of mill, then dirty laundry. So Timo may be slightly worried that that I might be able to race him out. Yeah, no point in me spending money in that situation. Drawing the Philotic actually means that, well, had I had some credits, I wouldn't be in the worst position in the world here. Though I can get milled out here fairly easily. So I'm a turn away from winning here, but unfortunately all Timo needs to do is just Josh B and deal army 5 times, and I can't stop that from happening. So he mills 3 times and Hades shards, which is actually kind of risky, because if he didn't hit an agenda there, if I'd got all my agendas in my hand, or left in R&D, I could, on my following turn, have scored out. So a pretty close loss, but ultimately a fairly good demonstration of why the mill deck has always been the a problem for replicating perfection, and also why my decision making is occasionally very suspect. Okay, on to game 2.